Hello. I'm going to show you how to make certificates using Autocrat. So there's actually three things that you need. You need to have a template, and for this template, I'm going to use Google Slides because I just think it's easier to work with besides with images. And then you have to have a spreadsheet, and then you're going to need the Autocrat add-on. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my certificate template. So I'm going to change here the settings so that it's printable. So here I'm going to change it so that it's printable. So I'm going to put 8.5 by 11. And this is step by step. Oh, that's the wrong way. I mean, I don't want it to go that way. I should have done it the other way. Okay, so 11 by 8.5. All right, so now it's going to go the right way. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. And I am going to look for a picture. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to search certificate. Oops. See what comes up. Ooh, I'll just use this one. It's okay. So I'm going to add this in. It's going to look beautiful. I'm going to make it in the center here, and then I'm going to unlink that because it doesn't need to be linked. Now, this is where it gets kind of fancy. So now I'm going to put my information in here. So what I need is the information from my spreadsheet. So my spreadsheet over here has the student first name, the student last name, an email. These are my emails. And then a note. And this is all, I don't want the email to follow. I don't want the email to show up on the certificate. I just need that so I can send the certificate. So I need to get this information up here so that I can mail merge it. This has to be exactly the same. So like if you have a form and this up here is named big things like please put the note that you want to appear on the certificate. I will go through and I will change that because that's a lot to put in as a mail merge tag. So I usually change it to something short. It has to be exact. So it's always a good idea to make sure, I just double clicked and to make sure that, for example, there's not any extra spaces in here because Google Sheets will see that as a space. So, and if you don't have the space in the merge tag, it's not going to work right. So I always just kind of double check that I don't have any extra spaces. Yeah, they're all good. Okay, so now I've got first name, last name, and note. So I'm going to go back over here to my template. And what I have to do is I have to add these as mail merge tags. So I'm going to put these things, which I refer to as French quotation marks. I don't know what they're actually called in English. And I'm going to put first. But see, that's not right because I have the caps locks on. So I got to make sure that it matches exactly. So I'm going to put first. And then space. And then last. And then that. And then I'm going to make this bigger. Probably center it here. Whoop, there we go. Okay. And then I'm going to put down here, congratulations. And then I'm going to put the note. Control C. And I'm just copying this because I don't want to have to reformat it. And then I'm going to put the note. So I have to put French quotation marks and then the note here because that's the information I have. So what these French quotation marks here are doing is they are saying, hey, they're going to tell the little script, hey, go over here to this spreadsheet and get this information and put it in this spot. So if I wanted to change this to a different font, I could, and I am, just so I can show you that it's different. So I'm going to change this to, let's change it to Architect's Daughter, and then actually I'll change this just so that it's clear. We'll change this to pink, and this to blue. Terribly ugly. All right, and we'll change this to, just make it a little bit bigger. All right, so this is my template right here. We're just going to let this hang out. And then what we're going to do is come over here to the spreadsheet, and everything else is going to happen from the spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet I actually just typed in, but you can have a form that's populating a spreadsheet and it will work exactly the same. So if you've created a form, you're going to need the information that you want on here. And then if you want it emailed to somebody, then you're going to need an email in your form. So right now, these are going to go to the emails, and then they're going to share with the emails. You have some flexibility there. So the next thing I need to do is I need to go to add-ons, because that's what we're going to use. And we're going to use this add-on called Autocrat. If you don't already have this, you're going to go down here to get add-ons, and then you're going to search for Autocrat, and it'll be one of the first ones that pops up because it's super awesome. You can click Autocrat, and then over here it'll say add. I don't know, like here, push the plus sign, and then it'll say add. So it's already installed on mine. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and then I'm just going to go through the steps. So first thing it's going to do is going to bring up the add-on. We're going to wait patiently. Sometimes Autocrat is not like the fastest, but it's way faster than creating your own. So, all right, so now I have to create a merge drop. So basically, a merge drop says, hey, take this information and put it over here. That's what it's going to say. And so in this case, I made a certificate, but you could make it whatever you wanted, like a thank you note, anything like that. All right, so go back over here, and I'm going to make a new job. So this is something I can run over and over and over, and I'm going to name this Autocrat Demo. And here. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Next. I'm just going to go through this. All right, so right now I need to choose the Google Slides. Now, it will make you one, but that's not what I want. I want the one that I created. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my Google Slides. Waiting patiently. And here's my template. I'm going to choose that one. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it's going to pop up here. There we go. Certificate template. So now it's saying, okay, I'm going to use this template up here. And then I'm going to put this information in here. So now I got to tell it some more things to do. So right now I have to do my where I'm going to get the info. If you have lots of information down here, then you got to make sure you choose the sheet. So I have to choose sheet 1. And this has a header row, so I'm going to make sure it says header row, and the first row is in row 2. If for some reason you had more than one header row, then you could click that to whatever it is. Now, if you've done it right, it will automatically map here. So this French quotation marks is mapping to the column that says first. These with the last is going to last, and then this one says note. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. If for some reason you haven't mapped it right, like there's some kind of difference in there, it will say unmapped, and it'll say you have an unmapped column, and then you can just choose what it maps to. So you can say, all right, if I accidentally had this wrong, it might map to first. So you just click and change it. But in this case, I did it right. So I'm going to click next. So now I have to tell the file name. So you can also use merge tags in here. So like, let's say I want to name this first and then last, or actually I'll do it differently. I'll do last first. So French quotation marks last, comma, space, first. Then it'll alphabetize it to me. And then I want to put certificate. Okay, so what's the difference between multiple output mode and single output mode? Here's the difference. If you are going to print this out, you want to choose single output mode, because what that's going to do is it is going to make a template here that is going to have all of those names, all of those slides in one slide. So it's going to have each one of the certificates in one slide. If you are not going to print them out, and if you're going to send them, then you want to use the Google Slides. Then you want to use multiple output mode because it's going to make one Google slide for each one. Now, in this case, we're doing Google Slides. I had Google Slides clicked, but I actually want to go to a PDF because I'm making certificates. So let me get rid of that. It's popping up with all my information there. What happens if I click here? Oh, it's a help guide. Look at that. So it'll even help you with your merge tags there. Okay, so now it's telling me The name of the file is going to be last name, comma, first name, and it's going to say certificate. Actually, I'm going to put awesome certificate. And if you wanted to put the date in here, you can put today. So like if I wanted to put today, I copied it on there. All right, so there we go. It's going to go to a PDF, and now I've got multiple output, which means it's going to produce one PDF for each one of these lines. Single output mode means it's going to make one PDF with all of these lines. In this case, I want it to be multiple output. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. All right, so now I have to choose the folder, and I made the folder Autocrat demo, so that's where it's going to go. If you want it to be in a different folder, you can make a different folder. I suggest you do the folder beforehand because it's going to be easier to find. So create your folder, then come in here. I'm going to go to next. All right, I don't know what this is. We just leave it there. Okay, these are merge conditions. So a merge condition would be like if you wanted to put yes in one row. I can't move this over. Let's say in this column I wanted to put yes. It would only merge the ones that said yes. In this case, I'm not doing that. That's super fancy. We don't need to do that. I'm going to go ahead and click next. All right, so do we want to share the document? Yes. And so now I want to share the document as a PDF. Do I want to allow collaborators to reshare? No. Do I want to send from a generic no reply address? I think I do. And then people won't answer for me. Now here is the email. So in here, I'm going to use the tags for merging source data. So this is going to be to French quotation marks and then email, because that's who I want to share it with. And then here I want to type in my subject. So I'm going to put hello. And then I'm going to put first. And here I'm going to put you have been awarded a certificate of awesomeness. Please click to open. Don't forget, comma, and then I'm going to put their first name back in here. You're awesome. Presumably you'd say something more better than that, but okay. So now I've got please click to open. This is what it's going to say. It's going to send it to this email. Blah, blah, blah. Was this the subject? I don't think so. What happens if I erase that? Oh, that's the subject. So I want to put, you've been awarded. You've got an award. Okay, and then I'm going to re-put my French quotation marks down here. Hello first. So it's saying hello. It's going to say hello, student. And it's going to send that email to the email right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put thank you. And then if you wanted any other information that you had up here, you could also add that in. And it's going to go line by line. So it's only going to take this information for this email. It's not going to take like information from this row and put it up here. It's only goes this way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click next. Form runs on trigger. That means do you have like some kind of time trigger? And in this case, I don't. So I would tell it when do I want it, if I want to have a time trigger. In this case, I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I don't have a time trigger. I'm just going to manually run it. So right now it's just saving the job. So it hasn't done anything yet. But right now I'm going to run it. So it's going to create a certificate. Here it's going to create a new file. And then for each one of those, and it's going to put them in my folder using this data. So we're going to go ahead and run it. Here you can edit. This must be preview. Preview job details. But I'm going to go ahead and run it. And so it's making these things up here that are going to tell you that it's been merged. So we're just going to wait patiently. Sometimes it takes a second for Autocrat to do this. So, and you could already see, so here's my document. Remember, I told it to name it last name, comma, first name. So it did. So it took the last name, comma, first name. And then it's sending the emails. And so it's going to give me all this data. So I just got to hold on and wait patiently. We're waiting patiently. All right, so it's all done. So I'm going to X out of here. And then now I have all of my stuff. So if I want to click right here, it's going to take me exactly to the PDF of this. So I'm going to click on mine. And here's my PDF. Yay! And so here's my certificate. It says, Bethany Thompson, congratulations. I'm the best. I'm funny. All right. And so that's what I can see here as the that's what I can see as the owner of this document. So what would have happened was myself would have gotten an email. So let me go over to my email. Here we go. I've got my email here. And I actually have 2 emails because I had my name in there. Actually 3 because I sent it to myself. So here it is. It says, hello, first name. The name of the subject of the email is what I put in there. You've got an award. The period instead of a exclamation point. This says, hello, first name. You've been awarded a certificate of awesomeness. Please click to open. Here's my certificate of awesomeness. You're the best. And then if I scroll down, here's the second one, student 2. And then I should have the one with my name. So here's the one that's actually with my names because the other ones I just used as tests. So hello, Bethany. Don't forget, you're awesome. And here's my certificate. So that's how the receiver would receive their certificate. And then this is how you as the owner would see this. The only difference between having this create a PDF and having it do the other way where it's going to create one document is that the single output mode would have all of those here. That's really much easier. Really much easier if you are going to print them. It's much easier to have them all go down in one slideshow. If you have it in separate documents like this, and you're going to print, then you have to go to each document and print it that way. So that's how you can make certificates using Autocrat.